Hotep to you, my brothers and sisters, as I greet you in the light and the love of the Most High Creator. We are giving the Creator praise for all that it is and all that it does. Selena, I was notified on that we were on YouTube, so we should be on. I got a notification. But we like to thank all of you for tuning in. I see my sister Hughes is back with us. Hotep to you, my sister. I see my faithful ones, all my faithful ones. I haven't seen Cinderella yet and her 5 generations. I saw that also, Sister Paulette, on Facebook. Beautiful, beautiful generation. So we thank the Creator for that 5th one. I pray that everybody has had a great day, and all your days should be great because you are in control of that. We are excited about what the Creator is doing in our lives. If you begin to access the powers, you can begin to kind of predict or calculate how your life is to turn out. That's what we want to be able to do, is have some type of control over what happens in our lives, in spite of all of the ugh feels that we have gone through in the past. That we can stop experiencing those ugh feels by addressing them. Okay, those painful moments in our past, those bad experiences in our past, we can go back to those points of abuse or attacks, and we can correct them within ourselves. See, you can only control you. You know, as we talk about compensations, compensation is totally reliant upon you. You don't have to depend on nobody to give you something. You can produce it yourself. Now, how the Creator works it out, that's up to the laws. But you can't expect to be compensated from someone particularly, and think that you are controlling that. Those individuals, whoever compensates you, they have to do it from within themselves. So compensation, yeah, we can send that energy out, and you may have some type of desire for it to come a particular way from a particular individual, but it can come a particular way, but not necessarily from a particular individual, because you have no power over the individual. The individual have to execute and exercise that power themselves. Okay? So we are talking about the laws, 12 laws of the universe. We have already talked about the law of oneness. We talked about the law of vibration. We talked about the law of attraction. Okay? We talked about the law of action. Okay? We talked about the law of correspondence. We talked about the laws of cause and effect, and we can really elaborate on the law of attraction, because that is important. Okay, what you send out is what you receive back in regards to this law of attraction, because it kind of connects with the law of correspondence. Okay, the law of correspondence. So we're going to finish up with the law of correspondence, but I want to probably retract a little bit dealing with the law of attraction, because the law of attraction is probably one of the most important laws that you really want to master. Okay, because what it does, it it lets you know the energy that you are sending out. So it speaks to you. It tells you something about yourself. A lot of times we send energy out and we don't realize that we sending that type of energy out. Okay, so this brings us back to point to where we have to pay attention to what we are doing, what how we are vibrating. Okay, we got to pay attention to that. All right, let me pull up my notes here. Uh, okay, law of compensation. I'm trying to remember where I left off last week. Okay, uh, I'll start here. In order for us to use fully, or in order for us to fully understand this law of compensation, we must look back to our lives. Okay, look back into our lives. Okay, and we look back into our lives at any time of our struggles and determine what those factors are. And see, this is one thing that we don't do. We never analyze. And I kind of talked about that, I believe it was Sunday, when I talked about the difference between decisions and choices. Okay? A decision is based on research, analysis, scenarios. You are really looking at all possibilities of coming to a decision. Okay, coming to a decision. When you make a decision, it has nothing to do with one thing or another. It has to do with everything. It has to do with everything. When you make a choice, you are making a selection from one thing to another. Okay, now it may be 10 things that's at your disposal. However, you still have to choose one of them, okay, when you make a choice, okay? And so it's a big difference when you talk about making decisions versus making choices. So in choices are primarily based on emotions, how you feel, okay? Because you're feeling a certain way, you choose this. If you feel in another way, you choose that. You know, so a lot of times emotions, your feelings get in the way, okay, of making the best decision. Okay. So, you know, we wanna look back into our rearview mirror and take a look at why is shiggity happening today to me? Why are things the way they are today to me? And when you look backwards and you see the energy that you may have been emitting back then, okay, in your lifetime, in this lifetime, because remember I talked about that you probably have lived several different lives, you know, prior to this one, because we are cyclical. We our energy continues on and on and on and on and on. Okay? Now, again, no one really knows, you know, we are making assumptions without full distinction. Okay? We can kind of plug in to the knowingness of the Creator to really understand how this thing is going. But you know, when you send energy out, energy comes back. It's kind of like I was watching the news and my boy Cuomo, can't think of his first name, Cuomo, that was on CNN News. Real good reporter. I really like Cuomo. But at the point in time that his brother was in trouble, the governor of New York, he began to send out certain energy. He was in some ways defending his brother's actions. Okay? Now, if his brother was doing all the stuff that these young women were saying he was doing, he was sending energy out into the universe. Okay? Those women came forward. His brother, Cuomo, that worked for CNN, began to interject and began to speak on behalf of his brother. Okay? Now he's sending energy out into the universe. Okay? Now, that energy came back. Okay? He was sending energy out about his brother in defense of his brother because his brother was being accused of what they call it when you abuse women on the workplace. Okay, I can't think of the word right now. I just got through dining on a steak, and so I'm kind of full. But that energy was lining up in the universe, and it began to come back to Cuomo, who worked for CNN. And sexual harassment, thank you, Brother Walt. It came back, so a woman comes out and said that this Cuomo that worked for CNN harassed her on the job when he worked for ABC. You know, Cuomo began to speak again, thank you, Walt, against the Me Too movement. And so now stuff is coming out again. But it's what you sending out, okay? Like attracts like. It comes back. The woman who's accusing the CNN Cuomo said that she did not like the fact that he was defending his brother about sexual harassment when she know that he sexually harassed her when he worked for ABC. And so, you know, again, we cause things to happen in our lives, and so Cuomo can look back at that point in time and see why things are happening to him today, because I think that was one of the nails on the coffin for him, that he got terminated from CNN. I don't care how good you are, karma, okay, or reciprocity will come back to you, okay, will come back to you. Cuomo, CNN Cuomo, was functioning with emotions as he attempted to defend his brother, because he had that platform. And he was using his resources and his connections to assist or to try to help his brother. Now, you can mean well, okay, but you got to reap what you sow in your attempt. So we can look back into our lives, okay, because we're talking about compensation. And we can realize why things are happening now. What did I do then to cause what's happening now? Okay? We can figure it out if you want to deal with it in spirit and in truth. You can figure it out. So you can help yourself, and then you can begin to look at what the possibilities are in your future as you begin to analyze your past, okay? After you look back, remember what it was like when that time was over, okay? If you got into a situation, whether it be legal, illegal, whatever it may be, okay, you got into a situation, and when you got cleared, you went on about your business. But if you think about, what it was like when you got cleared, okay, this helps us to usher into different manifestations into our lives, because we understand, we realize. See, the more information that we acquire about anything, the more authority, the more power we will be able to execute. Okay? Now, you can abuse power, but you don't want to abuse power. You want to use power. Okay? You want to understand power. You want to understand you. It's like I said yesterday that, I've learned to compartmentalize my different energies. Okay? I recognize everything as energy. See, when you come to that conclusion that everything is energy, then you're not looking at the same energy, even though it is the same, but it's different. It's like a box of crayons. They the same crayon, but they all different because they different colors. Okay? So when you begin to assess yourself and you departmentalize your emotions, your feelings, understanding that love is an energy, hate is an energy, sex is an energy, drugs is an energy. All the things that we deal with, we have to be able to compartmentalize them, and we let them out when we choose to. Okay? And we want to be in control of what comes in. Okay? What comes in. We're not going to be able to control everything. It's kind of like if you got a stench outside and you want to get out of the stench, and so you're going to come indoors. So you open the door to come in. When you come in to get out of the stench, some of the stench comes in with you because you can't stop it. Okay? Some things we're not going to be able to stop, but we understand it. Okay? We understand it. And you got to quit making excuses. Okay? Quit making excuses. Come to an understanding about it. You don't want to make excuses about it. You want to understand it. Okay? So when you look at your life today and see if there's any struggles that's going on, okay, look at it differently and see what might replace the role of the struggle. See, I'm in a struggle, okay? So if I continue to say that I'm in a struggle, I will be in the struggle. However, if I change the terminology of my experience, now it's no longer a struggle. Okay? The replacement will be the basis on other laws that will come in to help you in what was a struggle. See, it's no longer a struggle because you change the terminology of it. You change the picture of it. Okay? I used to tell my brother and my partners, about drugs. We all use drugs and that sort of thing. And it wasn't until I said and realized that I enjoyed doing what I was doing, and so therefore I have to recognize that and then speak to it, because it wasn't good. Okay? And so what I would tell them, in order for you to get past your addiction, okay, you have to say you addicted. then do something about it. See, you can do something about it when you recognize and you face your truth. Okay? You face your truth. We all have to face our truth. There's no reason for you to lie. I believe everybody that listens to me on YouTube, Facebook is grown. The kids just ain't tuning in to me. So because you grown, you ain't got to lie to nobody. You ain't got to lie. See, because when you lie, you sending that energy out, and compensation brings it back. It brings back negative energy. Okay? See, next Sunday we'll be talking about, these negative energies that we have coined them differently because of the culture that we live in. We have adopted the culture that we are living in, and it's not your culture. It's a culture that has been given to you, and so you have chosen to live in that culture instead of you're either going to assimilate or you're going to adapt. Okay? See, I choose to adapt to a culture because I understand that culture is not no good. It's not who I am. So I adapt to it. When you assimilate to a culture, you become that. See, you are becoming a part of the culture, so therefore you are becoming a part of the problem. Okay? So again, you got to shift. You got to shift and understand your position. Okay? I was talking to my goddaughter today, and she's a very wise and clairvoyant individual, and she had directed me to some videos that she was watching, and asked me what I thought about it. So I tuned in to the videos, I checked them out, and I responded to her, "Sweetie, I want you to be careful with that. Because, see, Scripture says, seek wisdom and knowledge, but in all thy ways get understanding." Because you're seeking the wisdom and the knowledge, and you want the understanding of a discipline, a spiritual discipline, that does not mean that you go on and get involved in it. Because, see, if you're not 100% with that, you can get caught up in it. You can release spirits that's up there, that's in the environment, that means your spirit and other spirits no good. It's negative energy. It's negative energy. This is why you got negative people and you got positive people in the world. Because those individuals who don't mind blowing your head off, it's a spirit that is provoking them. It's like the boy in Detroit that shot up the school just recently. He said he didn't want to do what the voices was telling him to do. Okay? So now either he playing a game or he was really in a dark place. Okay? Really in a dark place. Because you can get out there, call yourself meditating, call yourself soaring, as we used to laugh and joke about in the church. We soar, but you just don't want to go out there half-cocked. Because again, what you send out comes back, compensation. Okay? So we got to really be careful. Okay? So if things are going well with you, look back and see what you might have gone through, okay, for which you are reaping now, Big Chef. See, when you look back, 7, 8 years ago, and you began a process to come up, look at what you went through, what you had to go through, and I think you learned from that experience, okay? And now, with that energy that you learned from, you can teach others, okay? You can teach others, and you don't have to repeat a negative experience, okay? I believe I stated last week that we must also remember that the acceleration of the planet that we live on, okay, has accelerated. Things are moving faster. As I said, in the 1500s, there was 500 million people in the world. Okay, 500 million. Okay, that's a half a billion. Okay, now 500 plus years later, we got 7 billion people on the planet. Over the last 100 years, you've seen technology just take off. Every 2 to 3 months, computers are outdated because the knowledge, the technology is coming so rapidly. We got systems and structures already established that we haven't even began to use, that is projected to be used 50 years from now. Technology. See, the technology that they have access to can't really benefit us now because the system is not ready for it. Okay? They got military weapons. They doing laser now. You ain't got to shoot a bullet. They doing laser. Okay? You have to understand that this planet and this period, this epochs, is accelerating. Things is moving faster. As you remember growing up as a kid, the days were so long. And now there's not enough time in a day, it appears. Time is accelerating. And because time is accelerating, okay, your return of compensation is accelerated. Okay? Your transmission of compensation is going faster. Everything is sped up, okay? So understand, because when it goes out, it's going to impact and involve some of the other laws. Okay, some of the other laws are going to be activated to assist in the energy that you're sending out. Okay? We got to know that the energy that we put in now will pay off quicker. Okay? Will pay off quicker. Now let me backtrack a little bit on this law of attraction, because it kind of goes with this. Where am I at? Okay. I talked about the law of attraction and how Mark 11, 23 and 24 is involved with that. If you say to that mountain, be thy cast into the sea, and show no doubt in your heart, then whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe it, and you shall have it. Okay? I like to say, whatsoever you desire when you pray, know it, and you shall have it, because that takes it to another level. Okay? It takes it to another level. It goes from faith, believing, and knowing. Okay? Faith, believing, and knowing. Those are three different levels that you can ascend to without a problem. Okay? Now, because we know that the law of attraction is so closely related with the law of vibration, because what you're vibrating, you're attracting what you're sending out. Compensation. See, when it comes back, it's compensation. Okay? When you're vibrating, okay, you're sending out. You're sending out what you are thinking. Okay? What you are thinking. The law of vibration says everything in the midst is a vibrational frequency. Okay? And that includes your thoughts and your feelings. Okay? Your thoughts and your feelings. They create a frequency. Okay? When you're not feeling well, your frequency is low. Okay? You have low frequency. But when you're up, when you're feeling great, when you're on cloud nine, a different frequency goes out. Okay? A different frequency. With that understanding, we can alter our physical outcomes by focusing our thoughts and our feelings on the law of vibrations. Okay? Our thoughts and our feelings. Now, we're not talking about emotions. Okay? We're not talking about emotions, and this is where a lot of you females get in trouble, because you are functioning by your emotions and not necessarily by your intuition. Okay? Or your intuitiveness. Okay? See, emotions is energy in motion, and oftentimes we don't understand it. We don't understand I don't know why I feel like this. I don't understand because you something is controlling. If you don't understand why you are feeling a certain way because you are emoting a certain situation, you're not in control. Okay? You're not in control. Okay? So we got to understand that this happens in the positive sense, but it also happens in a negative process as well. See? And that's the thing about it. We got to be careful that we don't send out this negative power. Okay? We don't want to send a negative power out. We want to be in control of the vibratory frequencies that we send out. Okay? And this happened, this all starts in your subconscious. Okay? It starts in your subconscious because that's where the energy is generated from. Because remember, we talked about how all these different belief systems that we have adopted. I don't do that because my mama taught me that not to do it. Okay? I saw my grandma, do this. Certain things we don't do. Okay. Everything that we experience, we gotta consider them theory, unless we can test it. If we can test it, we can prove it. Okay, then it's no longer a theory. Okay, it's an is. Once you have tested what you're dealing with. Okay? And so you have to, if you took time for you, okay, you spent 8 hours at work for the white man, okay? If you sat down for an hour, 2 hours, and began to unpack you, find out what these belief systems are. Because your belief system may be your problem, because your belief system is sending out negative energy that's bringing you negative return, compensation. Those belief systems may have well been good before you start ascending, before you start seeking. They probably was Gucci. But now that you're ascending, you got to put a check on your belief systems that you have adopted. Unless you begin to understand you, who better to understand you than you? See, sometimes we got to make some tough decisions. See, making a choice ain't tough. That's kind of like multiple choice. I mean, true or false. Okay? True or false. That's all that is, one or the other. Okay? They've always said that the hardest test that you can take is multiple choice. Because multiple choice, the answer is so close to the truth. And this is what happens with our belief systems. The belief systems can be so close to the truth, okay? To where you adopt that system because somebody close to you have adopted it, okay? See, emotions, feelings, love, hate, dislike, all of those energies have to be in line and in harmony with what you're seeking. See, I understand how much energy I give to hate. I understand how much energy I give to love or to like or to whatever the energy is. I understand that I'm not going to function in hate. I refuse to. I'm not going to function in fear. I refuse to, because I realize that I have power over fear. So I'm not going to succumb to it. Okay? What they say fear is false evidence that appears real. That appears real. But it ain't. It's false. So you don't need to deal with fear. If you are afraid, then you are not functioning in the anointing. And this is where you want to stay in the anointing, but again, it goes back to what I say. You have to spend time with you to learn and understand you. And be willing to accept whatever consequence comes from your decision. Okay? In this realm, you got to be willing to accept whatever comes with your decision that you make in this realm, with the understanding that compensation is coming. Because if you're making a good decision but yet it goes against this system. Okay? It's not in alignment with this system. Don't worry about it. Compensation is coming. You got a return coming. But we don't take time to understand that. Okay? We don't take time to understand that. And we have to begin to do that. You have to begin to do that. Okay? That's how it all works. Okay? Positive information, you can use affirmation to reflect the vision you desire. Okay? As the illustration that I gave in regards to looking into the mirror and telling that person that you see who is in charge. You get up in the morning, you go to the mirror, and you look at that image that you see in the mirror that is not you, and you tell that image, you ain't running nothing today. Okay? You can kick it with me, but you rolling with me. I'm in charge. Okay? See, that's speaking life to your life. That's taking responsibility. That's letting you know who is running things. Okay? So you got to get up. You got to affirm who is who. Because you are on the inside. The real you is on the inside. Okay? The real you. Let the real you be in charge. Okay? Let the real you be in charge. All right. Let me go out today with this. Well, hotep to you, my brothers and sisters. Thank you for tuning in on this evening as we leave you in the light and the love of the Most High Creator. It is our prayer that the Creator will continue to supply all of your needs, predicated on your riches and glory in the Christ. In the Christ. All right? And so we look forward to seeing you all on Wednesday. So you have a good night, peaceful night, restful night, and we will see you then.